Hey, good morning. It's me, Maria, back with another video. It is 8:26 a.m. and I'm in a pretty optimistic mood this morning. I stayed up a little late last night. Of course, I made that video. I think it was like 45 minutes long or something. And then I went to bed. And so today I feel better because I kind of aired out some thoughts that I was thinking yesterday. And it was really good for me to communicate, what I was going through. And it's better to have, a way to express what you're going through instead of keeping it all inside, because I'm in a position in my life right now because of the gang stalking where I have to be very careful about who I talk to. And the reality of it is that most people who are targets, they do kind of live a solitary life for the rest of their life because of the gang stalking. You will never be able to fully trust anyone ever again, so it does destroy a lot of your life. Okay, but you have to talk about what's bothering you. You have to express, the concerns that are going inside of you. And I don't put a lot of faith in like the medical industry. Okay, I think that's a sham. I do think that the last time I did talk to a, what do you call it, like a psychologist or whatever, I do believe that they were part of the perp chain. And this is the biggest issue with so-called professionals intermingling and showing, being partial to certain people that they know, that they might be friends with, or they're trying to be a part of the group. It prevents them from being true professionals. This goes for the the human trafficking organization here as well. People make bad decisions, and when this is obviously a case of human trafficking. Okay, so this puts a person such as myself in a very bad situation because people they value their friendships more than they do their professions. You see what I'm saying? So I don't want to get into that discussion so much today, but mostly I'm talking about how do you make a good Saturday? How do you make a good weekend? See, like I remember, back in the 90s, I had some decent weekends. Okay, I had some decent weekends. So I'm trying to find, some joy in activities and doing things in my life again, because I really thought about it. In the last, I don't know, 10 years, it seems like it's just been a void. Like, I remember, now this is a pretty big town, okay? Bakersfield is pretty big. And I've never really explored it thoroughly. Like, there's certain parts I used to go to. I used to go out to Rosedale, do some little shopping and stuff like that. Sometimes I would go out in the outskirts of town and see some of these little weird shops that are out there in the middle of nowhere. I would do those sort of things. I haven't really done anything. And actually, I rarely have left this community in the last 10 years. I mean, there's been a few places that I've gone, right? But this whole gang stalking thing, before I even realized what was going on, it just really reduced the quality of my life. So I look around certain parts of town that have completely changed. Like there's been like the roads have been repaved and everything. And because I've been in this like bubble, I've been in this bubble, for such a long time that I'm just not noticing things. So I'm thinking, okay, how do I make my Saturday interesting? Try to break the routine a little bit, and I really do wish I had like a close female friend. Like I remember in the past, I enjoyed having women over at my house to talk and have coffee and tea, and we would talk about things. I especially like talking to women who have an interest in the paranormal, such as myself, because I'm a paranormal type chick, right? This is my life. This is what my life revolves around. And, I enjoy those sort of conversations. There's a lot of things in this world that are mysterious that I have knowledge of, but I will never have full access and knowledge to certain things, right? And there are some people who have skills in the paranormal or these arts or whatever that have a lot of knowledge and can do amazing things with their minds. Okay, I've heard of people having the ability to levitate, like over there in India and stuff like that. Now, I've never seen that in person. I've seen it on like videos, and you could easily fake those. So I have to keep an open mind as to what is fake, what is realistic, what is what you could actually do. But things like ESP, being clairvoyant, they do exist, and I know that it used to be regarded as a science, but now it's kind of considered a pseudoscience. It's one of those things that's very hard to kind of grasp you know. But I know that people have used psychics in, what do you call it? Um, Cases of missing persons. Law enforcements have used psychics and stuff like that. So it's not all fluff, okay? It's not. And I think sometimes people have this bad idea of psychic intuition or clairvoyance or whatever spiritual gifts because they kind of portray it in a negative or exaggerated way in movies and television shows and stuff. I mean, obviously, it's not the same thing, okay? But I will tell you that how I figured out most of this, a lot of it is like going backtracking, like what was I doing this year when this happened, and I was thinking about all the things that happened. But a lot of it has come to me through psychic intuition, and then I'm matching it up with, okay, do you remember this happened, and this happened? And so I cherish my gifts. I do, okay? But I've learned at a young age that it was something that I couldn't really talk about. And when I say young age, I mean I was like in my 20s, my mid-20s, when I realized that this is something that some people are uncomfortable with. Because like before, to me, the paranormal was something that was so normal to me. Like I've always had experiences as a kid, and they did freak me out, okay? But I still thought it was something that must happen to other people other than myself in large numbers. But I realized that this is a thing that a lot of people don't have, and a lot of people don't understand it, okay? And it freaks a lot of people out. So I realized, you know, I remember talking to some people when I was younger, and, you know, people, if they don't understand, some people do not believe in any of that. They think it's bullshit. They just think it's, you know, you might have mental issues if you think that these things are true or whatever. So they don't want to have anything to do with it, because what they are thinking is that you believe in things like on Bewitched, like those things could really happen. And no, they can't. They cannot happen, okay? But being able to perceive things from far distances, which I have the ability to do, I have the ability to mind tap if I want to. I have gifts, okay, that are given to me, not for show, not to put on display, but for my protection. Because I believe that, you know, our supreme creator knew that I was going to have a hard time on this planet. And so the only way that I could take care of myself is through my own means, to be able to observe what's around me and always be ahead of the thought process of other people. I cherish this gift, okay? I really do. And, you know, I have the ability to empathize. And when I do care about somebody, I can feel for them too. Okay, so I look at love and care and friendships as a very sacred thing. You know what I mean? So I don't want to associate with people that I don't have those sort of feelings for, because I can be just as protective of them, my true friends, as I am to myself. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean it's a wonderful gift, and I've learned to appreciate it. You know, I was thinking, my gifts have always, my psychic visions, my messages, you know, or sometimes confirmation of my messages. Like I used to wonder, is there some sort of is there a correlation between the word epiphany and light bulbs? And I know that, you know, sometimes you'll see like a cartoon, or like you'll see it portrayed like somebody's thinking and they have this light bulb. And so I kept thinking, is there? Because this is my experience, okay? Sometimes when I receive truth, like something has been confirmed to me, like a message comes into my mind and it is true, I notice the light bulbs get brighter, okay? And I wondered, is this some sort of, is this issue somehow related to why they show these little depictions on cartoons and movies and billboards or whatever? Is there some sort of connection between them? And so I did some research on the internet, and kind of, they don't necessarily look at it as psychic. They believe that there's like they don't recognize it as a spiritual thing, okay? But I do recognize it as a spiritual thing. I think that these sort of like messages, or it's kind of like I think that it interferes with electric currents. is what I do. I think it affects electricity or electrical appliances, because I know that, like, not only do I get these epiphany type moments with light bulbs, I get them with refrigerator motors. I get them with just strange appliances. You know what I mean? Because my brain affects electrical things. And so back to the epiphany thing. Okay, so let me just read this really quick. Says, yes, they said an epiphany is when a literal manifestation is a sudden realization. Something not previously clear or known has been brought into the light of knowledge or comprehension. It is as though what could not be seen in the dark room was suddenly seen, shown to you by turning on a light. So I was thinking, okay, well then this must be the reason, like, I'm putting them together. You know, because this is my experience, you know, and I know that when I thought about certain things, or certain things were revealed to me, truths that were going on in my gang stalking and the things that people did to me, and I would have a thought, and then all of a sudden the light would go on, the motor would go on, and these sort of things. And over the years, like, I've been noticing this since I was a teenager. But I notice it has never failed me, ever, you know. And so I'm really in tune with my surroundings, you know. And I think a part of the Menticide project with these perps we're putting in place, yeah, I am attracted to nature. I like nature, but that doesn't mean that I want to. There's a part of me, I think, and I've heard other women who are like myself, who kind of borderline on this. In some ways we wish that we could, you know, live off the grid and not have to deal with society. And sometimes we want to, like, for example, as an African American woman, I look at some African American women who've gone natural. Now, that's not my thing. I don't want to go natural, but I did struggle with that with my hair issue, because it's like, okay, my hair would be much longer if I never processed it, put any chemicals on it or whatever. Some people, like, you know, want to live what they call bohemian lives, and where they don't dress up anymore, they don't wear makeup or anything like that, and they're I don't know, you want to call them modern day hippies or whatever, and they're into this sort of lifestyle. Okay, and I would say when I was younger, that kind of stuff really attracted me. Why? Because I have an open mind, and there's a lot of conventional people that that are around me, that are in marriages and stuff like that, and all this other stuff they're doing in their little thing. There's nothing wrong with that, but I know that that's really not my thing. So where do you belong? You know what I mean? And I know that, but I also like, and I've also heard other women like this. Like, I knew this one chick who was into wearing, like, you know, jeans, and she didn't wear makeup, but she always wanted to go back to wearing makeup. But she felt like she had to commit herself to this, like, naturalistic life, to where, like, you know, she went all raw vegan and all this other stuff. You know the kind of people I'm talking about, earthy type people, which I have nothing against, okay? And there's a part of me many years ago that I really did appreciate that earthy type lifestyle, okay? But on the other hand, I also like a little glam too, you know what I mean? So how do you merge the two? And I believe that I've merged those two. And I think that my perps were kind of like, well, you know, she should be, like, wearing her hair in an afro and everything. I think some people rock afros in a great way. Like, they just look so amazing, especially if they're super tall and they're super, super thin. And then they got these features, and they just got this Angela Davis shit going on, and it's amazing, right? That doesn't work with me. Okay, I do like, you know, I'm not crazy about the hair issue. I really am not. Like, I look at my hair all the time. It's like, does this reflect who I am? Like, is it reflecting who I am? I guess it just has to at the moment. Like, you know, when you're at work, you know, I think that people should have a professional appearance. This is how I feel, and I believe, and I think it's right. And this used to be the idea of just about every workplace, and then people started developing a slothful attitude, or it was just my perps trying to bring me down. I don't know what their problem was. But anyway, Black people have always had an issue in the workplace with their hair. Okay, and so there are some Black women who want to, I've seen these people on Pinterest, because I've actually saved some pins of Black women with their big afros, and some of these afros are like way out here. I am not kidding, okay? They're piled up high, and they look really cool, but I bet you these women don't have jobs. I bet you they don't. Okay. And so, I've also loved the braids. I thought, that was like something forbidden when I was growing up because my dad thought that was associated with, street life, the people who were like from the ghetto and stuff. And then that was something that my dad did not like. Okay, I didn't see it that way. To me, it was like a solution to a problem. I love swimming. If I got my hair braided, I'd go swimming all the time and I wouldn't have to deal with this mangled tangled mess. And I will tell you, before I had, before I started getting relaxers, okay, when I was really young, I remember like looking out in the neighborhood and I'd see kids going off to Sunday school, like on Sundays, right? And they would leave early in the morning. And so my mom would decide to wash my hair, like whatever. And by the time that they got home from Sunday school, my mother was still working on my hair because my hair was not chemically processed. And my hair is a very tight, kinky, coily, tight, kinky curl. Okay, you've never seen my hair because I wear my hair relaxed. But meaning I put a processing chemical on it so that it can be manageable. Okay, but my hair is like, it is kinky, curly, kinky, curly. Okay. And so they would have to, after she washed it and then she would condition it, we'd have to section it and let it dry out a little bit. Okay. Then I'd have to blow dry it, the rest of it. And then we would take it, section it off again, and take a hot comb, the old fashioned ones that you would put on a stove and heat up and straighten all of my hair. And it would take hours to do my hair. And then in the 1980s, I learned about hair relaxers. So that's what I was been doing all these years. Now, some black women, they choose to do what I do. They do the combination of the relaxing the hair. Some black women who've decided to start their own business. There's a lot of black women who leave the corporate world. When I mean corporate world, I'm talking about the 9-to-5 life because it's just always a constant battle with their issues. People don't understand them. They always have issues. Black people get picked on in the workplace all the time. We all know it's true, okay? Because this shit would have never happened if that wasn't true. So, so they decide to start their own business or whatever. And a lot of them are making natural products for black hair and all this other stuff, which I think is great. That's what you have the ability to do. In my case, it's like, well, I'm trying to deal with my hair issue the best way I possibly can. And I really don't appreciate white people trying to tell me how I'm supposed to do my hair. You know what I mean? And it's just like, how dare you? You know what I mean? This is not a racial issue. It's just like, well, it's like me telling a white person how to do their hair. How dare I? That's not, it's not something that I have the right to do. Or even my blood relations, they don't have the right to tell me how to do my hair. So black hair issues are big. I know I just saw a commercial, I think it's on Dove hair products. They're talking about in certain states where, black women were being harassed about their hair issues at work. For black women who want to wear their hair natural, some black women still want to wear their hair natural. Now, the stories that I was just telling you about me taking hours to do my hair, there are some black women who still want to go to the workplace, trying to battle with their hair in a natural state every day. And if that's what they want to do, then they have the right to do that. But, some of their employers may not like them with their natural hair or whatever. And some black women choose to wear wigs because it's just a lot easier. So we're tired of the controversy with our hair already. We're tired of people not understanding it or getting it. No, it's not. It has nothing to do with us trying to be sexy. We're trying to be groomed. Okay, that's pretty much the way it is. Okay, so and when I'm not working, I don't wear the wigs. I mean, I got my 2 chicks here. These are my sisters here. They look great, don't they? But anyway, I've come to appreciate what wigs do for me, but they're not really a part of like my everyday life. Like when I go out on the weekends, I either wear a hat. I usually do wear hats, okay? And I do have this ponytail that I just recently got, which I was going to be doing a wig review on this ponytail. I'm going to tell you what, this ponytail is just I have to say it does look cool, but when I put it on, I kind of look like one of those, like, I guess it's kind of an old group, the Spice Girls. It just looks like something that doesn't really belong in the workplace. Like I wanted like just a regular ponytail attachment for my hair because it's getting hot, right? So I kept thinking, well, I'll just go ahead and get one of those. Now this is my hair. If you separate my hair, you're going to see the gap in it. You're going to see the little holes and stuff like that. My hair does not lay down flat on its own. Okay. And some people say, well, it's fine just the way it is. Don't tell a person what they're supposed to do with their hair. I don't want to hear what your ideas are, your thoughts are on my hair, especially if I didn't ask you. Okay. It's rude. It is very rude. Okay. So I'm dealing with my hair and I'm fine with it. I mean, like I understand when you're doing things at work, you are in a different mindset at work. Work is different. Okay. You have a different persona to a certain degree. Okay. Like I used to tell not done jokes and stupid jokes like that at work. Okay. But now I'm a little bit more reserved. Okay. But you have a different way of acting at work. Okay. A little bit. I mean, I'm still myself, but you know what I mean? So it's like kind of a part of professional attire. And then when I'm out on the street, like doing my work, my grocery shopping, which is like really humdrum. I need something else besides grocery shopping on the Saturdays. But that's what I'm saying is like don't tell me how to do my hair. Okay? Don't tell me how to do that. But there is a part of me that, wants to be around women. I enjoy talking about, women issues. I love talking about the supernatural, the paranormal. I would love to go on a paranormal, exploration of like there's certain parts of this town. Like I was reading, there are certain places that are deemed haunted. Well, bring me those places. I mean, take me to these places. I want to see them. I enjoy feeling energies around me. And that's one of the things I've noticed when I was younger. Like I could sense residual energies of things and people that have been in certain places, which is one of the reasons why I love old buildings, and I enjoy that. So I know that Bakersfield has a rich history in certain, in certain areas, and I kind of want to explore that if I, can make the time for it, which I have plenty of time, and I might as well go ahead and schedule that in my appointment book at some point, because I want to get out and do different things, and what entertains me may not entertain the majority. You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm not into gang stalking and ruining people's lives. And that tends to be like a great pastime for some people. But I try to find things that are, going to provide some sort of entertainment to me and enjoyment to me without harming other people. So I guess I want to find peaceful people, which is hard to do. So, it's hard for me now. Like they make life very difficult for me. And I wish the person... these people that I'm talking about, I really do wish they were arrested or they were in jail and I could see it and witness it for myself, because it would bring me tremendous peace of mind. Okay. Now, some people might think, okay, so we might as well talk about my ex-husband, right? Some people say, well, didn't you care about your husband? And I will tell you this. At the time when I was married to my husband, my ex-husband, if he even was my husband, I don't even know what the hell went on with that, because it's so weird. Yes, I did. Of course I loved my ex-husband. At the time, I loved him. I did. Okay. Maybe I wasn't the kind of wifey type person. And maybe I wasn't that. But did I love him? Did I plan on staying with him for the rest of my life? Yes, I did. I had no intentions of leaving my ex-husband. But when all of this stuff became, just started like revealing itself to me, I had many epiphany moments. I had many light bulb moments. I had many, recollections of like things that happened and things that people said, and started putting it all together. When I realized that, it became a completely different story. You know what I mean? I do see this person as someone who was adopted and conditioned to be a certain way, and that's the extent of it. You know what I mean? And it's something that I would like to forget. A person that I would like to forget. I don't love him anymore. I don't. And then there's nothing to love after somebody does something like that to you. You know what I mean? I think about certain things that he used to do and the things that he used to say. Yes, he did some pretty darn cute things, but I do believe that this person is kind of like a pathological liar in some ways. Or, somebody who's able to, sociopath or something along those lines. Somebody who can really play off pretending that they care about you and then turn around and do wicked, crazy stuff behind your back. That kind of stuff. Okay, so there is no love there. So I'm clarifying that right now. Okay, the only person I love in my life is my son, and I love myself. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with loving yourself. And I'm going to tell everyone in this town, in this community, in the United States, and outside, you have to love yourself. You should be your number one top priority. Do not let people indoctrinate you in thinking that that is a selfish thing. That is exactly what you should do in this life. Okay? Not everybody is worthy of your love. Stop giving love so freely. Stop wasting your time, your energy, the great sincere feelings that you're able to feel and express. Stop wasting it on trash. You know what I mean? Give it to people who deserve it. You know what I mean? And the one person who deserves it more than anyone is yourself. So people need to rewire their brains, as I personally think. Okay, and like I said, I'm not somebody who tries to push my agenda on people. This is my channel, so I'm expressing my personal opinion. I would never say this at work. I would never say this out in town. I would never say this. This is my channel. Okay, and the reason why I talk about my beliefs and why I believe the way that I do on my station, my channel, whatever, is because I was backed into a corner where somebody was threatening my life. Okay, they blacklisted me. Okay, so I decided to make videos and talk about my situation, and this is why I'm here. So, yeah, I do believe in that. I believe that we should in order for a person to really appreciate life, they have to look at themselves as an individual. This is how I look at myself, as an individual. I don't want to be held accountable for the actions and behaviors of other people. Now some people lump sum everyone. Like, for example, they might say, well, this person, you're a black person, Maria, so therefore you're this person because this person, I may have went to jail for holding up a liquor store. So because they're black, then you're somehow going to have to pay the price for what this black person did, and you don't even know who they are, but because you're black, you have to suffer the consequences for that. And I know, when it comes to society likes to paint everybody out the same. Well, you know what? We're not. You know what I mean? And I don't want to take, the credit. For example, if a black inventor comes up with something and gains success by that, I've seen some people kind of live vicariously through the accomplishments of other people, and I think that's weak. And that's what a lot of white people do that. Like, they'll say, oh, this is a great country, and I'm white, and I'm better than everyone else because I'm white, because this particular person, they'll name up all these great people who accomplished all these wonderful things, and it's like, well, we're great because of this, but they might live in a trailer. They might have 2 teeth in their head. They might, be generational welfare recipients or whatever, but they somehow think that they're superior because of their white skin. I will say that their white skin does get them certain privileges. Okay. But that does not mean that they are better. That does not mean they're great. That doesn't mean anything. It means that there is a system in place where people might value you more because you are white, but you could be a criminal, like these people that I just had to deal with, you see. So I believe in a different way of living than most people, and I don't hate people who are religious. I just don't want to be a part of any religion. Religion doesn't do it for me. I believe that in order to thrive as a human being, people have to be to live off of their own ideas, as long as they don't hurt other people. You know what I mean? We have to follow our own path. If you are led that way, like if you have certain ideas in your head, then you should live them out. And this is what my life is about. It's about me living out my ideas and my goals and the way that I view things. And then on my deathbed, I want to be able to say I was completely satisfied. Like that Frank Sinatra song, I did it my way, right? I want to live my life my way. And I think that that's the right of everybody, everyone. Everyone should be able to do that. When we talk about living in America, that's some of the things that we're supposed to treasure, because in this country, we've had it written into, it was written that we were supposed to enjoy these things without, having to fight for them or whatever. We live here. We're here for religious freedoms. We're not supposed to be oppressed like we have. We have all kinds of laws written on the books that's supposed to protect women, but people don't follow it. It's kind of like I think most Americans are hypocritical. You know what I mean? They talk about freedom. They talk about these wonderful things that they cherish about this country, but at the same time, they'll go around and try to force their religion on you. you know, this kind of crazy stuff. So I choose to live a different lifestyle. You know what I mean? I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to come into conflict with anyone, you know, meaning like I don't want to ever try to dominate, take or force my views on people to where I'm trying to dominate other people to see things my way so that we can have like this big, I don't know, Maria movement or anything like that. And that's not what my goal is. My goal is to live a very peaceful life. You know what I mean? A peaceful life. And I will say, obviously, my life does revolve around my spirituality. That is it. You know, I was thinking a few days ago how, you know, when I was younger, I wanted to be a nun. And I know people have actually referred to me as a witch before. Yes, I have studied witchcraft. I don't consider myself a witch. Okay. I think anytime you have an interest in the paranormal, especially when you know that you have special gifts and the ability to do certain things with your mind, you're gonna read those witchcraft books, okay? And I did read a lot of witchcraft books. I'm not a witch, okay? But one thing about witches, and when I was younger, I wanted to be a nun. But here's the one thing about these two women, okay? They're both dedicated to their spiritual source, and they're both without men. Nuns don't get married, okay? And most witches that are depicted, with the exception of like Bewitched, okay, most witches, okay, live a solitary life. They do. I mean, they might have their little friends, and you know, of course you've seen them depicted in covens and stuff like that, but most of us do, you know. And I'm not a witch, but I'm just saying is, and witches, I'm going to define what witchcraft is. Witchcraft, if they have multiple deities that they petition, multiple ones, okay, so they're like they have certain festivals and Sabbats that they observe. I do believe in paying attention to like moon phases. That I do, but you'll see that's not necessarily associated with witchcraft. Witchcraft is different. Okay, there's complex forms of witchcraft to where like they have pronunciations of certain deities and entities that they summon that I personally could never pronounce, okay? Some of it is very, very complex, and I've read books about it, but it's not my path. And that was my choice and my right to explore that path, especially when I was in a position where I wanted to know exactly where I am in life. Where does all this, what is this all about, you know? But I do think that I do see why people kind of associate with me with that, and then you know the whole whatever it is, it fits in line with how I live my life in a lot of ways. I am a very solitary person. Yes, of course I do want friends, okay, but like I said, I'm somebody who wants to lavish my affections on those who are worthy of it, instead of wasting my time on fake friends, double agents, gossipers, people who don't really truly value my goals, my views, my vision. You know, and I would never impose my views on other people, but people want to do that to you all the time. And they want to throw their problems on you. They want to drag you away from your particular goals. And then when you tell them, oh, well, I was actually going to do this, like for example, you might have had an appointment to, I don't know, correct something, okay, and they were like, well, oh, I forgot about your appointment, or like for example, you're telling them, okay, I don't want to go out and eat sweets, okay, so then they come around with their sweets and they want to offer you after you told them that you don't want it, okay, and the reason why they do this is because they don't care about your goals. They don't care about your dreams. They don't care about any of that stuff. They want to enforce their shit because that's not your true friend. Okay, I want friends who are going to enhance my life. Okay, and I'm not saying monetarily. I'm talking about spiritually. Like just the enjoyment of them. I would never ask anybody. Like when I got married to my ex-husband, I never asked him to get me a job or anything like that. I never wanted to have those sort of tie-ins. You know what I mean? When I married my ex-husband, I married him because I loved him. Okay, I loved him because he was funny. I loved him because I thought he was funny anyway. I thought he was witty. I thought he was somewhat because he seemed like he read a lot, okay? So those are the qualities that I liked about this person, okay? And that's the enjoyment of that. And I understand some people want to get married for empire building, and then there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, okay? But don't be surprised if your husband wants to go out and have an affair with somebody or whatever, because after all, this is the business arrangement, right? That's all it really is. So, you know, but I'm just saying, it's like, you know, I want quality in my life. Good people. Very good people in my life. And I deserve that. You know what I mean? I deserve to be around people who are going to show me the proper amount of respect, and I in turn will show them the proper respect. And I will be their friend, okay? And you could not have a better friend than me. Especially with, I got all this psychic shit going on. I will be the most protective person of my friend. You know what I mean? So I don't want to waste my life on people who don't appreciate it. You know? So, you know, I'm feeling a little bit better today. So I want to figure out what I want to do this Saturday. I know I still have the laundry to do. And I got that. But I want to go out and do something. I get so frustrated sometimes on the weekend because I don't know this town anymore. I barely knew it. And it's like I really want to go out and explore it. And I want to go out and check out some of those haunted houses that I've seen listed on the internet. I want to do stuff. You know, and I don't know how much the pandemic's going to play a role in me wanting to go out and do stuff, but it's making things very difficult for me. And of course I do want to get out of town a little bit more. It's been a long time since I've been able to do that. I'm trying to get my life back is basically what I'm trying to do. I want to pick up where I left off. You know what I mean? And that means, like, as far as me being as enthusiastic and you know, energetic as I used to be at 50 years old. And I know that I have the ability to. It's just I have a lot of mental blocks right now because of the bullshit. And no, I'm going to tell you right now, they have never planted any seeds of doubt or self-hatred in me. I have always been able to direct where that hatred should belong. It should belong to them. I don't hate myself. Okay, I love myself enough to stand up to people who want to kill me. I love myself enough to say, no, I'd rather die than be anything like you. Okay? So, no, you have not knocked my confidence. You haven't you haven't destroyed me. You have upset me because you had no right to do what you did. That's why. Okay? I have a very well-balanced view of myself. You know, and if I was to teach anyone something, I would tell people to love yourself more than anything in this world. That's what you should do. You know what I mean? There's some people who aren't at that point. They're not at a point where they love themselves. They don't like themselves, okay? And I'm saying start looking at least one thing that you like about yourself and build around that. If you like your toenails, then make sure you get those toenails manicured all the time. Add decorations, add decals, whatever you got to do. Get yourself, and then maybe you'll start liking your toes more. Then you'll start loving your entire foot. Then you start buying some shoes that you want to adorn yourself with. Treat yourself like a king and a queen. Because in this world, no one else is going to do it for you. I guarantee you. Okay? We are in a world where we have an obstacle course, and we have to avoid certain things that are negative in this world. And there's more negativity than you can even imagine. And a lot of times we get swept up with the wrong association, people who don't care about us. Be careful about who you associate with, you know. And that's my message on my channel that I have every right to say. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope everyone has a great weekend, and I'll be back with another video sometime later. Take care. Bye-bye.